Hi, Chris Ford from chrisandjennyford.com here with part 11 in our Internet Basics course. So what does that .php in the file names really mean? This part's really targeted at those of our members who use the rip-to-it system, but it's also applicable to anybody who, for example, uses WordPress or any other site that's got some PHP pages on it. So when HTML was originally developed, pages were completely static and there was no way to interact. And HTML by itself is still that way. They're static pages, they don't change, and you can't send anything backwards to them. And web designers were always looking for ways to make their pages more interesting and dynamic so they could change things on the fly and also accept input from the visitor. So several methods were developed, and the ones you'll see most around the place are JavaScript and PHP. There are many others. You'll hear about CGI bin scripts, you'll hear about Ruby, and you'll hear about all sorts of other things as well, but most of the time at the moment JavaScript and PHP are used. Now these are both script languages, and they let you create HTML on the fly and allow your web visitors to interact with your website. And the difference between them is that JavaScript runs on your visitor's computer. It's so-called a client-side scripting language. And PHP runs on the web server, or a server-side scripting language. And other than that, they are somewhat similar in what you do with them. So what do we use PHP for? Well, PHP allows your website to interact with the user via forms. So you can accept the input from a form, you can validate the contents of it, you can email the results to somebody, you can insert the results into a database. You can access databases. For example, if you've got a membership database, it'll be PHP scripts that take data in and out of those. And it'll be, or content databases, so WordPress, for example, uses PHP to access its database. And any other dynamic content that you might have on your site. For example, if you have an RSS feed, you can use PHP to dynamically gather your content from the RSS feed and display it on your page. Now on the rip-to-it sites, they're almost entirely written using PHP. And the PHP pulls the various components of the page together. So it pulls together the keyword pages, pulls together the menus, pulls together the sitemap, and then pulls in the article text that relates to the keyword that's on that page, and then also pulls in the Google code that is then used to display the ads. So PHP is a very important part of the way the rip-to-it sites are set up, and the rip-to-it sites use PHP because they are built on the fly dynamically. They're not static pages. You can go into the admin panel, create a new keyword, and it'll automatically create a page on the fly using the PHP code. So it's quite important. And that's really all you need to know about PHP at this stage. As you advance in your internet marketing life, you may well come across more PHP, and you may even start to do a little bit of PHP coding. But don't worry about that for now. That's very much a thing for later on. All right, we'll see you in the next step.